Hello, hello, hello! Welcome all back to another Toonkind D&D at 12 FPS. Today we have Set in Stone. Uh, this FPS actually takes place, well, how long do you think it would, how long back do you think it takes place? I know it's at
Hmm.
least several months.
I'd say like maybe a month or two, maybe a month and a half, roughly speaking, if I'm thinking of the timeline correctly. Also, hi!
Hello!
Introductions. Hello,
Yeah!
I am Mars Sessions, also known as Obby, and today I hold up a small shadow child. I'm playing Tally.
I failed to hold up my child because he's fairly tall. I'm playing Johan Karstein. He's a white lion toon, and he's been on the hunt for quite some time for some very important statues to his family, and has not had
Yeah,
much luck.
yeah.
So,
Important things to find,
very important things to
and
find.
yet no luck.
And after a while, like, I mean, if you spend, like, just years, like, searching for something, it's gonna weigh a bit on you once in a while. And, Johan's
Yeah,
been having one of those weeks.
yeah,
Because, my god, he has patience, but even his font of patience runs dry sometimes. Um,
yeah.
and I mean, he doesn't have to sleep. But
Yeah, he
boy,
doesn't have to sleep. That is a benefit
yeah, certainly is a
to
benefit if you're,
searching
yeah,
night and day,
night and
isn't
day.
it?
Yeah,
Huh.
oh yeah.
Oh boy.
But you know,
Well, I
uh,
want to say that recently Johan's research has actually led him to find a rumor about a like a new exhibit in Tezukanada at a museum. Uh
that's awesome. I mean, yeah.
yeah.
So like he starts like he's following like that line of research and actually like gets like a pamphlet. Um, Not really much in the way of pictures because the museum's trying to draw you in so you can actually look at it, but definitely some descriptions,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
statues, which is like,
Statues.
uh,
That's the attention grabber there, huh?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So like, yeah, he's like, okay, I think I can, okay, yeah, I can do this, I can go. So like he
Yeah.
gathers his stuff. He says goodbye to Percy. He's gonna be gone for a day or so, and he heads out and starts heading towards the teleportation circle to Tezukanata.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Gosh, I
So
imagine like teleportation circles are kind of like
public
basically
transit.
the fantasy equivalent of airports.
oh, oh, I mean that's good. It's probably more like
Just
a bit
so
like
much.
public transit almost,
Yeah, yeah,
but with border
yeah,
crossings.
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because traveling all the way to Tezukanata from freaking where
Toontown.
is Johan staying?
Well,
Toontown?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's quite the trip. That's like
That's
across the continent, baby.
oh yeah, that's quite a bamf. Um,
Teleportation circle is the way to go in this case because
hmm
you can't do like a cart travel in just a couple days.
no, no, you gotta be there. You gotta get there today.
Mm-hmm,
You gotta get there by this afternoon. But you know
mm-hmm.
what? At some point well, how does Tally find him? Like, what is Tally doing?
I I like to think that Tally perhaps found him like on chance, if that makes sense. Like,
Hmm
because Tally a lot of the time likes to hang out at home, and when she doesn't hang out at home, she usually goes around walking Toontown to visit friends that live in the different parts of the city.
Aw.
Yeah. So as she is maybe walking to see a friend who she thinks might be hanging out in the park today, she actually catches sight of Johan, and it's just that little kid of, oh, that's one of my that's one of the people that hangs out with my dad sometimes.
Oh,
And then
is it?
just
I have to ask Abby. Is it the pom pom?
it might also be the tail, yes. There's like the recognition of, oh, that's my dad's friend, and then, oh, that's a tail, oh, it's Fluffy. The inner cat-like instincts activate.
Silly eyes. Activate.
Yeah.
I mean, Johan, I think on his part is too distracted to really notice Tally. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I kind of want to roll stealth for fun,
oh my
just
god.
to see,
Yes.
just to see.
Just how stealthy is this child?
I'd say pretty stealthy.
I mean, yeah.
Would she have advantage, perhaps, because
Oh yeah,
Johan
he
is
is
so
definitely
A,
distracted.
distracted,
Oh,
B, tired.
yes. Yes to both.
That's
12. Oh, that's a nat 1 on one of those. Damn.
Oh
A
boy,
1
that
and
is
a
not as
5.
stealthy
That's
as I thought it
amazing.
would be.
God, that doesn't pass. That doesn't beat his passive perception.
It does not.
Uh-huh. But I think for the sake of the for the sake of comedy, he he's walking and then like he gets a sense that's like someone's looking for him, like looking at him. So it's like one of those
Someone's
things
trying
where
to
like
sell him something.
so like he stands up straighter, he pauses and he like looks back, but he's not looking in the right area because like Tally's down low and he's like looking like scanning like the horizon, like what?
He is not looking down, and Tally's like only like 2 and something feet tall.
Yeah, I'm
And
essentially
to make
making.
things funnier, I imagine him like turning around and like Tally turning around with him to keep her eyes on the tail.
Essentially, I'm choosing to just fail this perception check for the comedy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes. So a bit like he's just like squinting at the horizon, then like turns around, and then Tally's like right behind him.
Yep, yep.
He continues on his way, and occasionally just kind of like looking over his shoulder, like, why do I feel like someone's watching me? Um, no matter, I gotta go. Yeah. So is
Gotta go to
Tally?
the teleportation circle.
Yep.
There is appointments to make.
Yep. Yeah, so he makes all haste to the teleportation circle, unbeknownst to him, with the tiny little tune in toe, uh,
Yep.
and pays for like his entry into the teleportation circle. And I'm guessing like the attendants like kids ride free, so it doesn't
Yeah. Yeah.
doesn't even mention Tally.
Doesn't question.
Doesn't question it. Tally gets into the teleportation circle. And then, with a whoosh and a flash, hey Tally. Boy, this sure isn't Toontown anymore. Does Tally even notice?
What if I roll what if I roll perception
Okay.
and see what we get? Just for fun.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 20.
Dirty 20, nice.
Oh, she sure notices.
Uh-huh. But I mean, Johan hasn't noticed her, so he's like just stepping out of the teleportation circle and checking a map to see if he can figure out which way he needs to go.
Yeah, Tally's just like standing like in the teleportation circle for a minute. They're like, like when she notices that Johan's starting to like get away, she's like, "Oh, you are the only person I know here." She's chugging after him like, "Oh, don't leave me alone."
Oh no, baby. Oh yeah, so it's the tunes here are all a very different style, and the buildings. There's a whole bunch of like schoolgirls running around with toast in their mouths. Um,
Walked out from Toontown and right into freaking anime.
yeah, baby.
Anime.
Anime. God, yes. So, does Tally get Johan's attention yet, or is she still in that thing of like I could make this work?
I feel like at first she's like, I can make this work. I can make this work. I can't make this work. I can't make this work. And then the next thing Johan knows is that there's like a slight tug on her tail as she kind of grabs onto it so she doesn't get lost.
Hello? Like, finally he notices Tally. It's like, hey, Tally?
Hi.
Like, he looks up now for like Bob and Rad and Ross, and it's like there are none of those folks in sight. And he looks back down at Tally. He's like, "Why are you in Tezukanada?
Uh,
Where's Bob? Where are your parents?"
I may have followed you.
Yeah, eyes widen. Um, he just took a minor over country lines. Uh, there's like
I'm just imagining just the longest stretch of silence.
there is the faint sound of dial-up coming from Johan's head as he tries to process all this. And he takes out his sending stone, uh, and he takes a, a deep breath, sighs, pats Tally on the head. It's like, it's okay. I'm going to call your dad. Okay. Uh, activates the sending stone. It's like, Bob, Bob, are you there? Fable.
On the other end, you just hear a lot of rustling, and and if familiar, you've not heard the sound of panicked Bob in a good long while, but you know the sound, and it sounds something like, no, I've checked there already, but I've checked here, no, she's not there.
Oh
No. Oh
Bob,
wait, so hold on, my sending starts going off. Hello.
Bob, it's me, Johan.
Oh, Johan, hi. I'm sorry. I'm a bit busy at the moment. Could I call you back?
I believe I have the reason why you're so busy. Tally is with me.
no! Hi, Dad.
Where?
Yeah, he lowers the sending stone so Tally can speak into it.
Hi. Hi,
Honey,
Dad.
where are you?
Johan's,
Telly does not know where they are.
okay, we are in Tezukanada. Apparently, she followed me through.
Kanata?
She he's like pinching the bridge of his nose at this point. She followed me through a teleportation circle, and I was not aware she was there until just now. Um, I am so sorry. I can bring her back now.
There's a long stretch of silence. Can I talk to her for a moment,
Oh,
please?
Absolutely. Like Johan hands Tally the sending stone and like like takes a step away to give them a little bit of space, but and pretend that he doesn't hear the conversation.
Telly just has the sheepiest look. And she like holds up the sending stone to her ear, like, "Hi, hi, Dad.
All right. First things first, sweetie. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm okay. This is oh, I did not mean to do that."
No, I don't. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. At least I know where you are. Do you? All right. Hold on. I'll get to the. I'll get to the. I'll get to the circle station real quick, and I'll come pick you up. All right?
Okay. Thank you.
Could you hand me back? Yeah, that's all right. We're gonna have a talk about walking onto circles. All right? Could you hand me back to
Okay.
Johan, please?
Mm-hmm. And Tyler just very sheepishly hands back the little sending stone.
And Johan accepts it and lifts it back to his ear. Yeah, I am very sorry, Bob. I was on my way to visit a museum here in Tozukanada, and I wasn't paying attention.
No, it's all right, Johan. At least I know. Thank you for calling me and letting me know where she is, and
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hmm.
that's one panic. That's one panic averted, though.
Huh. Wait. One panic?
Don't worry about it.
You
Right, so
you
I
can
could come.
feel the worry emanating from the sending stone.
But all right,
Should I take her back to the teleportation circle? How long will it be?
uh, I'm. I can't lie. I'm stuck in traffic, and I am nowhere near the circle station, so it might take me a while.
Okay.
Would you be all right looking after her?
Oh
You said you
yeah,
were going
yeah,
to a museum, right?
yeah. I am. I have babysat before. I can do it now. And how long do you think it'll take?
Well, it's Toontown, and it's Toontown traffic. It might be a while.
Okay. I'll make plans for lunch then.
Yeah, yeah. I'll call you and let you know when I'm there.
Okay. Excellent. Yes.
But if you could just watch her in the meantime. I'm so sorry, but thank you.
Oh, it's no trouble, Bob. I am sorry. But yeah, I'll keep take good care of her.
All right. Could you pass me to her one more time?
Oh, certainly. Yes. And Stone's back to Telly.
There's just another little hi, Dad.
Hi, sweetie. All right. It's gonna take me a while before I can get to the station, so Johan's gonna be babysitting you for a bit,
Oh, okay.
which means he's in charge. Okay.
Okay. There's like a little pout you can hear through the stone.
I know. I know. Just stay close to him, and remember that you should still have some pocket money, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Use that first before anything else, especially since it's a new place.
Okay.
All right. I love you very much.
Love you too. Kisses. Mwah.
Uh,
That's so
yeah.
cute. Okay.
Okay. And then you just hear Bob, the sound of him like shifting the gears of his car. And then you hear a loud honking sound and Bob going, "Yes, I know. I see you. Hold on. I'm going."
Oh, that's so good.
Because Bob has turned to road rage, Bob.
Yes. God. Thank you, Fable.
Thank you.
I abscond now.
He.
Farewell.
And I was Fable playing Bob. But yes, with the return of the
I
sending
was Fable
stone.
playing Bob.
Yeah. Huh. But with the return of the sending stone, like Johan like kneels down to like so he can like better talk to Tally.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's still a little bit before lunch, but I was planning on going to a museum to see the exhibits there. Have you ever been to a museum before? Is there,
I have, yes.
uh,
Do you want to roll insight on Tally real quick?
sure. It's an 8. Hard to get a
Okay,
read on the child.
Yeah, it is hard to get a read, but she does like kind of look away from you for a bit. Out of context and for the audience, the last time Tally was at a museum, she may have stolen things from the museum with a certain tune named Guild Trouble.
Oh boy. God, could you imagine if this was the same museum?
It is not the same museum, unfortunately, because that one's closer to Toontown. But if it was, that'd be so funny.
Oh, that'd be extreme. God, that'd be another layer of just. Ooh. But no, not the same museum. But Johan's like, okay, so if you've been to a museum, you are familiar with the proper etiquette, like no touching the exhibits.
You get the feeling that Tally is making note of these rules right now as you're speaking.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
Hey, so no touching. Okay.
yeah. No running.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess they don't want to make sure. Maybe they want to make sure you don't fall and break something.
Yes, including yourself. Um,
Oh. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And it's generally advised to noise to a minimum.
Well, I can do that.
Yes. Yes, you're very good at not making any noise. Yeah, so he's
Flashbacks to just a little bit ago.
Yep. So he stands up and like offers Tally his hand.
Tally will take it.
Okay. And then
Which the height difference is so funny.
I know, it's so cute.
It's very big height difference.
He's gotta reach way down, she's gotta reach way up.
Yep.
It's adorable.
Yeah.
Okay, but I think we could have like a little a scene change. Jump cut to
Scene change.
Yep. Jump cut to them outside the museum.
Jump cut.
Jump cut. And I mean
Jump cut.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's a lovely building built in the style of it's like the Museum of Antiquities is chiseled into the stone over the entrance, and it's kind of like that Greco-Roman columned white marble building kind of deal.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. You look at it and go, "Oh, that's a museum."
Oh yeah, that's a museum, tip to toe.
Animal Crossing museum vibes.
Yes, exactly. God, we could. Yeah, like there's like an owl tooth standing outside the front with like a little sweater vest, welcoming folks and handing out pamphlets. Yeah.
Yes, good.
Like he's got like a little name tag that says his name is Gibbers.
Gibbers.
Yes.
That's so good.
Yep. So yeah, Johan collects one of the pamphlets and like starts looking through it like one-handedly, very eagerly.
Yeah.
How much has Tally noticed like Johan's whole deal at the moment?
I could roll insight and we could find out.
Sure.
Fun fact, Tally's like one of the one tunes I have who has proficiency in insight.
Oh. A 12.
But that's still a 12.
Yeah.
Which, granted, she doesn't know Johan that well.
But boy, he sure seems tired.
He does seem tired.
Seems very eager to see what's in this museum.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think Tally's just gonna like give his hand a little squeeze.
Oh. And like he starts a little bit and then like returns the squeeze. And then kind of like lowers the pamphlet so she can see it too. So I am looking for. I really want to see any statues this new exhibit might have.
Oh, okay.
But there should be a lot of interesting things in here. So it should be it looks like the newest one actually deals with items from pre-erasure, things that have survived from that time. But they also have a lot of things from the beginning of this after this last erasure, the rebuilding of Vinequill. So
you get like a look from Tally, like half of the words are kind of going over her head.
It's all very very old stuff, very old twin stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Old stuff.
Old stuff.
Like the engineer.
I don't. Yeah. God, you caught him off guard and he laughs. Let's not say that while he's around, but like then he like pauses, like how old is the engineer? Something like that. But they shouldn't have any they shouldn't have any living things on display. But let's find out. So like they enter, and I'm gonna say like probably like the first exhibit is if it's in the front, it's gonna be like something that wows them. So it's like it'd be like the like dinosaur fossils. So you get like the full like a brontosaurus skeleton like spread out and stretched around. There's like pteranodon skeleton. Yeah. So so like just all that like
and
cool
this is even like
stuff.
Toonkind fantasy world. There could be like skeletons of like weirder stuff and then dinosaurs. Like a Hydra skeleton.
Oh heck yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Hydra skeleton.
Oh.
It's got so many heads.
Oh. Yes. Oh, great. Like there's like a I'm like I'm like trying to frantically like, think of like cool D&D monsters, but I'm
Like
not coming up.
manticores are cool.
Yeah, manticores are really cool, and like they got
And
like
also griffins.
and griffins. Um,
Yee.
there's like a mock-up of like a unicorn skeleton, and like Johan just like stares at that for like a good few minutes, and just turns around and is like, just that is in bad taste.
That is in bad taste. Oh my gosh.
Why would Tally be interested in the first part here?
I feel like actually the skeletons make her a little nervous because they're a very big and very pointy teeth. So I'm just like picturing like like those little dinosaurs that look like chickens.
Yes!
How small they are. Those are the ones Tally's interested
there's
in.
like a whole herd
They're
of like
very small.
Compsognathus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Johan like crouches down next to her. It's like, oh yeah, Compsognathus.
They're so little.
Yeah. What do you think they? It says that they would. They would hunt in groups. So could you
Whoa.
imagine a whole bunch of these just running around, like a flock of chickens? What
Just like a whole bunch of chickens just running around.
what sort of noise?
Except
do you
they're
think they made?
lizards.
Yes. Do you think they sounded like chickens?
That'd be silly.
It would. And like Johan actually like smiles a bit, like just watching Tally giggle at the idea of like a whole bunch of little lizards clucking like chickens.
Yeah.
And I think they probably would make their way through like this exhibit. Would would Tally accept like Johan lifting her up and like carrying her on his shoulders so she feels a little taller?
Yes.
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 Okay, so that's
Yes.
done. And so like
Tally does not weigh a lot, so
it's actually one of the
easy to do.
Yeah, it's one of the easier things for him to lift up.
Yeah.
And he keeps like one hand on her, and of course like one hand on his cane.
Yee.
And there's like there's like a statue.
Tally now has elevated position.
Yes.
Whoa.
There's like one statue instead of like actual fossils of like a griffin, and like the beak has been like rubbed a bunch, so it's like much brighter than the rest of the bronze statue. So like,
oh my god.
Yeah. So he takes her over there so she can also pet the griffin beak.
Pet beak. Pet beak.
Yes.
Pet the beak.
And then
How come the beak is a different color than the rest of it?
oh, it's because it's been rubbed by so many people over such a long period of time.
Oh. Why do they rub it? Is it like good luck or something?
It's like he looks around and like he sees like an attendant. He says, "How about we go ask?"
Okay.
And
like Tally starts bouncing a little bit.
A little less bouncy, please.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
And then less bouncy, but still slightly.
Slightly bouncy. It's within his ability to manage it.
Yeah.
So they walk over to an attendant, which is like I think probably like a clone of Gibbers. It's just another Gibbers. And so
Gibbers 2.
Gibbers 2, Electric Boogaloo. Except it's like a slightly different patterned sweater vest.
This one's purple.
and Johan's like, excuse me, my little friend here has a question about the statue. And
how could people touch the beak? Is it like good luck, or is it like something else, or?
And there's it's like the babble talk from Animal Crossing, but you understand it. So it's like But you like Giver's answers. Yes, it's a custom in these parts to rub the griffin beak for good luck. That griffin was actually commissioned in like about 50 years ago to commemorate the pet of the local lord. Uh, so
Oh.
yeah, it was a protector of the region.
Oh.
Yeah, so people rode
Like
its
you can
beak.
see Tally like getting little sparkly eyes because that's cool.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so he commissioned to have this made, and people rub its beak for good luck and for a little extra protection.
Mhm. Cool.
Yeah. Okay. I think at this point they'd probably like move on into like the next part of the exhibition, and since we're about 30 minutes in, I'm going to say that this is the exhibition Johan's been looking for. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So this is the pre-erasure exhibition, and there are like lots of little crumbling like relics of this bygone time, things that as Johan takes Tally around and is like reading from the pamphlet, this is the stuff that was buried so deep or was taken out of Einquell before the erasure so that it actually was able to survive the erasure and then was brought back
Yeah.
later on. Um,
Yeah.
but
There's probably I can imagine there being like accounts of people like going down through the uncanny valley and finding just like statues
mm-hmm,
and stuff,
yeah,
like statues and ruined bits, and being like, "Yo!"
mm-hmm, like
And then further expeditions were made to go retrieve some of these
oh yeah.
super cool relics.
Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of like broken marble statues and column works and things that, of course, from the Uncanny Valley, which are just kind of weird and a bit kind of eldritch to look upon, honestly.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
oh yeah, but in the like in the center is kind of like the like one of
Mhm.
the main attraction points of this exhibit. There is a beautifully detailed statue of
Well,
hmm
I know what it's of,
yeah uh
but yeah.
yeah
I feel like towards the center of the exhibit are a couple of these statues. One of them being a bit more detailed than the others. It is a statue of a dwarf.
hmm
To be in mid combat, with an arm raised above her chest and her other hand gripping onto what appears to be a warhammer. And do you want to make an insight check?
oh sure
We can both make an insight check.
net 20
Oh, dang. Okay, well, Tally got a 7.
oh
Yeah, well,
I mean that
that
works
makes sense.
that
Since,
makes a
you
lot of
know,
sense
Johan. I know the Johan lore. Uh,
yeah
yeah.
like when they finally go close enough to get a good look at this like Johan just like freezes in
Mm-hmm.
place and he's just
Yeah.
hmm.
Johan, looking at this statue, it is way too detailed. It is it is like a stance that could be way too natural for
Mhm,
it to be like have been carved, especially in a time period it supposedly came from.
mhm. And like you could tell
And
that I'm assuming that like the museum has probably added some pieces to support areas that were not
mhm, mhm.
properly carved to support the limbs that the way they've been posed.
Yeah. And this dwarf, her expression uh is not one of conquest or triumph. It is one of what appears to be fear.
God, it's like a gut punch. Oh, um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, he
I think Tally's like looking at the statue like on Johan's shoulders and then like kind of like looking down because I imagine he's just like froze up and
mhm.
is just staring at
Oh,
this for a good long while.
mhm. It is like, do you want to roll insight on Johan?
I am. That's what I'm doing.
A nat
That's a nat 20.
20. Whoa. Um, God,
You
like
okay?
his face is an open book at this point. Like there is like disappointment, there is shock, there is like like a bit of horror, there's like sadness, it's and oddly enough like after like he appears like he's like just trying to process these feelings, there's like just like a little bit of hope, like the set to his eyes changes and it's like just suddenly instead of like shock it's like determination. um
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
like he
yeah.
finally answers, he's like uh, I I think I will be.
What is it?
That that dwarf that is not a statue. That is a person.
Oh.
And Tally just gets very, very quiet as she now looks up at the statue in a new light.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a person, then why is it here?
Well, like the exhibit
Hmm.
said, these are and like he looks down to like the little placard that details like where the statue had been found. And you can see here it says that she was found very very deep underground. She must have been turned to stone before the erasure hit and was protected by deep how deep down she was. But
Hmm. Hmm.
like he like lapses kind of into silence and appears to like be like he's got like uh I'm going to set you down for just a second, and like puts Tally down and like rubs his
Okay.
chin, like consider he's thinking hard about something here. Um,
What do you want to do? Is it?
I'd like to try and free her.
Hmm.
And like Tally gets like a very serious expression as she starts like looking around at the museum around them. It's not empty.
No,
It's
there's.
pretty busy.
Mm-hmm. But I'd like to try and free her now. I don't. I mean, I could come back
Hmm.
and try. I can't leave her like that. I can't.
We could. We could. We could.
And like Tally like motions for Johan to bend down.
Okay. Like yeah, like he leans down and like like fluffy lion hair closer to her.
Yeah.
We could sneak in later. I'm very good at being quiet and sneaking around. We
I'm
could.
I am normally against it, but that might be a good way. But your father is on the way to come get you. I
Hmm.
Toontown traffic is can I mean it has held people up for a long time, but I don't think it's going to last until the museum
Hmm.
closes.
Hmm. We could make a big distraction.
That could work.
Hmm.
And like Tally's doing a big think.
Mm-hmm.
Tally's doing the biggest think of her life.
Oh my goodness! Oh, this bean.
Hmm. Hmm. We could. No. Hmm.
Could what?
Hmm. Well, the biggest distraction I can think of is if, like, hmm, is if like there's a fight that starts happening, or some big commotion. Something that'll make it so that all the people whose job it is to watch everything goes over there instead.
Hmm. I
Because they wouldn't want a fight to like end up breaking anything.
yeah. Um. So like he looks around and like he spies something on the wall. He's like, I think. Or if instead of a fight, what? Like he points to like he directs Tally's attention over to the fire alarm on the wall.
Oh. Oh. Oh, you see like the little click in Tally's mind. She goes,
Oh.
But I would need to remain in here, and they would probably try to get everybody out of the building. I need a place to hide.
How about
and like Tally looks around. And I want to say conveniently that there's like restrooms nearby.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's gonna be like public restrooms.
And Tally points them out.
Ah, okay. I think I could make that work. I know just a thing. Okay. So like he like kind of like very quietly casts spider climb on himself.
Yes.
He says, I did promise Bob I would keep an eye on you, but this is very important.
I can take care of myself. I've done it before.
Okay. I'll meet you
Plus, it'll
outside.
only be for a little bit. It'll just be until we, help her out.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll wait right outside, next to that one, the right pillar, okay?
The right pillar. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well then, I'm going to go use the restroom. And winks at Tally and walks over into
Tally-
the restroom.
Tally does like a little wink back.
The wink. The winks they have
Wink
shared.
wonk. Wink wonk.
Conspiracy.
Conspiracy. Crimes.
Crimes for a good cause. God. Okay, yeah. So Johan goes into the restroom, goes into a stall, and waits until it's empty, and then climbs up into the ceiling. And I'm gonna say it's gonna have just like walks up towards the ceiling. I'm just gonna say it has like one of those dropped ceilings with like the sections you can remove. So he just like removes one, climbs up into the ceiling, puts the thing back down, and then waits to hear until he can hear the alarm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh man. Okay. I gotta think about how Tally's gonna do this. I think Tally is just gonna like casually go over to where like one of the closer fire alarms are and just I'm gonna say like maybe there's like a little bench for sitting down on. And she just casually starts sitting right there next to it.
Just like she's waiting for Johan to come out of the restroom.
And then she's gonna try to use Mage Hand to yeah, exactly.
Oh.
And then she's gonna use Mage Hand to just give it a quick pull.
How about
Do I
sleight
roll
of hand?
sleight of hand?
Yeah, I would say
Oh
so.
yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy, here we go.
Oh boy. A 21!
21.
Yeah. Suddenly alarms are blaring. There's like klaxons going off and like lights are thing, and suddenly all the gibbers around the exhibits are ushering people out. One notices you sitting on the bench is like like, just like, no, come on, we gotta go. There's a fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Tally just nods very seriously, like, oh yeah, we gotta get out of here. And
God.
just like hops up off the bench and starts scurrying off.
And Johan waits for like a few minutes until he doesn't hear like any commotion outside of the restroom, outside of like just the alarm itself going off. Leaves the restroom, peeks about. I'm gonna roll stealth because why not?
Oh no. Oh no.
I mean,
I feel like you could potentially have advantage. Oh, never mind. You don't need.
Not bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Way to go.
Yeah. This is very important. He's being extra careful, so he looks around. He knows he only has like probably a little bit before like the fire department gets here, so he has to kind of.
I'm sorry. I'm just picturing like Johan peeking out of like the little ceiling square, just like ceiling cat.
Ceiling cat. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. So once he's back on the ground, he drops like the spider climb, goes over to the statue, and I'm gonna roll hammer space real quick because he might need something. 9. That's no problem. He brings out a large dolphin plushie, like one that's large enough to kind of like for him to sit on, and like climbs up onto the exhibit. Um,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sets himself down so
Yeah.
like it's like okay, like he he sets himself up onto the exhibit in such a way that he's like stable, like he's trying to make it so that there's little chance that he could fall off essentially. Um,
Yeah. Trying to be very delicate.
mhm,
He's only got one shot.
yeah. And what he's about to do is very risky for very many reasons. But once that's
Mm-hmm.
done, he like takes one last look around and like actually the the black like turtleneck that he always wears and like he pulls that down. Um, unbuttons the vest so he can actually get a little bit more better access. And there's a light like shines out from within, and it kind of casts like this ray of colors like onto everything around him, and he reaches into his chest and pulls out a very small pearlescent fragment of horn. And as it leaves him, he stiffens up, like one arm stops moving altogether. Like he can't really move at the bottom of his legs that well anymore, but the one arm is still able to move enough so that he can press the horn to the forehead of the dwarf.
Mm-hmm.
And the light from this little fragment of horn seeps into the statue and cracks form all over her
Mm-hmm.
figure. And
Yeah.
then, with a shattering noise, the stone is broken.
Mm-hmm. I'm just picturing like the cracks like starting from the forehead where the unicorn horn was touching, and then just spreading all the way down her shoulders, down her arms, down her legs, and then there's just crackling sounds like an egg starting to fragment into bits
Mm-hmm.
as something breaks out of it. And as the pieces fall away, there is the dwarf kind of lets like a gasp for air, like and kind of falls back a bit.
So sorry. He can't really do anything to catch her. Like he tries, but like
Yeah,
his body's not cooperating.
yeah, for obvious reasons.
Mhm. Oh, hey.
Oh boy.
So, uh, Petra, how you doing?
Petra is so confused. There's just like a look of what? But just like looking around wildly at her surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
And like you hear her exclaim something in Dwarvish and like scramble to like stand up. Kind of like the little pieces of stone like littering around her that was once part of her, and she's just okay.
Uh,
Uh,
like,
and eventually she's just like staring at Johan like, oh, person, okay.
Okay, yeah. How about a perception check to see how well she's taking in her surroundings and this person in front of her.
Let's find out.
Oh.
20,
Nat 20.
20,
Oh,
24.
she's on alert. Dang. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Mhm. I, even in Petra's time, I imagine there were probably museums. So, like looking around, she kind of clocks like, oh, what am I doing? Yeah, what is?
This is
You're in a museum. There are alarms
this
going
is
off.
there are alarms. Okay.
Yeah, and there's like a white lion just kind of like kneeling in front of where you were, and there's like a little. He's got like a little something in his grip, and
Mhm.
there's like on his chest you can see like crystals like growing like, and there's like a little cavern that's like dark, um, and He's just like looking at you. It's like,
Oh hell. Oh, are you okay? And like Petra's like immediately like disregards like the alarms and everything and is like immediately like kneeling down in front of whoever this is.
mm-hmm. Can you put the horn back in?
Oh, yes, I
Okay.
can. And Petra tries to very carefully take whatever is in Johan's hand, a piece of horn apparently,
Mm-hmm.
and carefully.
It's shining.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
it's magic fuckery,
Mm-hmm.
and she's just gonna very quickly just.
Oh,
This is
one quick
weird.
note
This
that
is weird.
yeah, one quick note is that when Johan removed the horn, um, you know how like if you have like a very bright room, very bright light in a very small room, like all the details like get washed out. I mean, like
Mm-hmm.
extremely bright. Like once the horn left him, the white kind of faded into kind of like a bleached beige kind of color. Like some color came
Ooh.
back into him. Uh, but if you
Ooh.
once you start putting the horn back in, like it like brightens within him until he's all white again.
Okay. Okay. That's really cool, but also, man.
Mm-hmm.
uh.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
Petra's just kind of like looking down at him, and like at the crystals that are on him, and she's just kind of blinking and like having just like the absent realization of okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
this is not good.
Yeah. He's just like looking up here like, please. Um.
are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah. So like once the horn enters, like the white comes back, and after like a few seconds, like he's finally able to start moving his limbs again, and like he takes a very shaky breath and just kind of like buries his head in his hands for a bit. I'll be okay.
You sure? Uh,
And
okay.
are you?
That was
Are you?
my first question. Second question. Where are we? Third question. What's happening?
Um. Okay. Yeah. In a museum of antiquity, you've been. I can only assume you were a statue, and it was
uh,
it was the only way I could think to break a curse that old.
that is okay. That makes sense. Uh, Petra's gonna unpack that later. Petra's
But
gonna unpack that later.
yeah,
Now
yeah,
though,
yeah.
there's alarms for some reason.
We should leave.
I'm
Like
gonna
like
roll strength real quick.
okay, okay.
Yeah, just strength.
Oh, a 15.
15.
What are you doing with that
Johan,
strength?
you are not being carried.
Like he's just like yeah, like he like which way does she go?
Just she just starts going through the museum like, okay,
Uh-huh.
where is
Like
exit to building?
like they're going the wrong way, but they're like going deeper into the museum, and he's like Johan's trying to like point out like follow the exit signs, look up. And
Oh,
like you know, like they have like those exit signs with the arrows pointing
are
in the direction you need to go.
are they written in common?
Um, it's more like the pictogram kind of things.
Okay, pictograms Petra can read.
Mhm. Yeah, so it's like a person like going through an open door and an arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Petra nods like, okay, this way, and
they probably
she's
lead.
not quiet. She's not
Tung, 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 tung,
quiet.
tung, 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 tung. Oh my god! So I assume that they
She's
leave.
wearing full plate armor.
This is amazing. This is wonderful. Yeah. So like Johan's like pulling the turtleneck back up into position while he's just being like manhandled out of the museum. Um, yeah, but I assume like they leave by like a side entrance or something, like not out like the front entrance. Um,
Yeah.
someplace where fewer people had been, so there were less people to see them leaving. Um, but yeah, you step out of the museum and you're Petra. You're confronted with Tezukanata in all its anime glory.
Oh god. Petra's just standing there like, oh god, this is the surface. Oh god, okay.
If you'll bring us, you can you put me down?
Oh, right, sorry. And Petra, like, very awkwardly sets Johan down and kind of dusts him off a bit.
Oh, thank you. And like he reaches into his hammer's bane and takes out his cane again because he's gonna need that for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I should be the one thanking you.
I think a bit of mutual appreciation is appropriate in these circumstances because I don't know if I could have gotten out of there quite as quickly. So maybe a little quieter.
Mhm.
I have a friend around the front that we should go retrieve, and maybe we get you something to. Are you hungry? Or I don't know. This is the first time I've been able to. This is the first time I've been able to break this sort of curse, so I don't know what to expect.
Petra is kind of like at a loss for words, like she isn't sure what she's feeling at the moment. There's just like that overall sense of, oh, this is a lot.
Okay, I think what we're going to do is I'm going to retrieve my friend. We're going to go someplace quiet and give you time to take this all
Right.
in. Yeah. So Johan leads the way around to the other side and finds the right pillar.
Yeah. And kind of like sitting on the just like on the little ledge of it, Talia is just kind of like peeking and watching the front entrance while she's sitting down. Just kind of expecting you to come out at any moment.
So Johan just calls out Tally.
Oh!
And Tally turns around and looks at Johan like, oh, hi!
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh!
And Tally points at Petra, who is just standing here.
Just standing, yep, just there.
Yeah.
Yep, that
And
sure is the
Petra
statue that was in there.
It sure is. Like, Tally's just like, oh! And like, she's kind of like running up to like besides Petra and like asking her all sorts of questions, which I myself cannot think of.
I mean, that's fair. Johan eventually.
And Petra is very much like, oh, okay. Hi. Hello.
How about we Tally? Let's hold off on the questions. It's been a very long 200 some years, I think. Let's go find some place to just have a quiet chat, shall we? Are you looks to Petra? Are you first off? Hi, my name is Johan. What is your name?
Petra. Hi. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. This is Tally. Tally, Petra, Tally.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Yes. Yes, the FPS room. Get Obby to talk to herself.
We've done it.
Like Johan looks at Petra. Are you familiar with jump cuts?
Yes, I am.
Okay, let's just go find some place to settle down and jump cut.
Jump cut.
Yep.
Yeah.
They've got like a little private room in like one of the nearby restaurants with.
Yeah.
They got lunch coming in. But it's quiet. It's private. It's a nice place to just recover. Yeah. I can't believe they got away with it.
So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's like 15 minutes of just like stunned silence, probably with Tally just asking a bunch of questions.
Yeah, probably. Tally's just like, where did you come from?
Where did you go?
Where did you go? Did you know like you were in the museum, or were you like not aware, or like? It's just
I mean, Johan is
silly little questions. What's your favorite color?
Bless Tally, I love her so much. How is Petra handling all this?
Petra, like, Do you just want to roll like a general insight
Sure.
on this dwarf?
18.
18. Yeah, Petra this whole time has kind of been on high alert.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the sense of kind of like looking around every which way whenever they're walking from place to place.
Mm-hmm.
And is kind of just there's just the sense of, oh, there's a lot. I am overwhelmed at the moment. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately Tally has not caught on to this.
Uh-huh. I think it's
Tally's just excited.
I think Johan really wants to know the answers to these questions, including the favorite color. Cause hey, but it's like at some point he realizes that Petra is having a hard time of it right now. So he just like sets like a hand on Tally's shoulder. He's like, um, let's just give her 10 minutes, shall we? Food should be here in just a moment.
As if on cue.
Yep. In comes a lovely anime spread of all those delightful Ghiblian foods you always see. And then they put out the plates, they leave them alone, and Tally can probably eat rather than ask questions for a little bit.
Yeah, Tally immediately grabs whatever the sweetest looking thing is, like dessert-wise, and grabs that and makes that hers.
Yes.
Hers now.
Wonderful. I think Johan's just like pouring himself some tea and then pours some for Petra as well.
Thank you. Like Petra kind of like grabs the teacup and her hand's shaking a little bit, which she steadies with her other hand as she takes like just a long sip.
Yeah, Johan's hand is likewise shaking when he's pouring it, and he has to concentrate very hard not to like spill the tea everywhere.
Oh boy.
So, I think some explanations are in order.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, let's roll Hammerspace, cause boy is he a nerd. A one!
That's a one!
Oh boy!
What does he pull out?
A two! It's a dagger! It's another dagger! It's one of the ones he got stabbed with at the Dodo Studios! That was not what I was intending to pull out. One sec.
Like, there was like a moment where Petra had kind of like reached for her warhammer, which is kind of propped up against the wall.
Wait, does a 3 do it, or is that still another fumble?
That's still a fumble!
God dang it! That is not what I was wanting. Okay, Cardboard Knight's Crest. Nope, this is not it either. There, finally! Yes!
There we go.
He pulls out, like, a book on the history of Einquell, like, pre-erasure. It's written in common, just so you know.
Yeah.
So, but, like, he pulls it out, and, like, he, like, shows it to Petra, because, I mean, he doesn't know yet. I do have this primer for the current history of Einquell. Look into some more in depth. I guess it depends upon, like...
Petra, like, picks up the book and, like,
does she open it upside down?
Yes.
He stops talking immediately. It's like...
And, like, she, like, tries to, like, read through it, like... I'm gonna roll deception at disadvantage.
Okay.
We're rolling deception at disadvantage. Because it's funny.
A 0!
She's trying so hard to look like she knows what she's doing, but she's holding it upside down, and she's reading it from, like, the wrong direction.
Yeah, like, the next time Petra looks at Johan, he's just kind of, like, got, like, he's, like, cupped the entire lower part of his face with his hand, and is just looking at her like, oh, honey. I take it you don't...
Petra just has the brightest blush you've ever seen on a real kind No, that's more of a Toonish blush, isn't it? And she kind of snaps the book shut and puts it on the table for admitting I can't read Common. I
okay.
can read Dwarvish just fine, but
Okay. That I could probably arrange something for that. There's got to be like a bookseller somewhere around here. Okay, so um, once I have answered some questions, we will visit the local bookstore and get you something in Dwarvish that you can read about what's happened in Einquell, because that is a lot to go over. But
right.
yeah. So you were a statue for a while there, a long time.
I figured that was the case, and like Petra is kind of like looking down at herself, kind of like in a sense of still like that's
Yeah. Has she noticed anything new about like? I mean, like, has she like removed any of the plate for a bit, or is she keeping that on?
I feel like as they had went into wherever they're having food at, she did take off her armor because this is more of like a place where you don't really need to be ready for a fight.
Okay, so she's relaxed enough
and
to
like,
take the armor off.
And all of the and like all along her arms there are just these kind of scars that are kind of in the shape of different cracks, like stonework that has been left to rot for a while.
Oh, honey.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something new. I
Petra just kind of like rubs a hand over her face before just grabbing the nearest food, whatever it is, she doesn't care, and she just eats it. Just starts eating.
Okay, yeah, I mean that's fair. Judging from her reaction, I think Johan comes to the conclusion that she was not aware of her time as a statue. Okay.
Definitely not.
Well, small mercies. So like I think there's like just a silence for a little bit as they eat.
Yeah.
But probably by the time that the meal is done and they bring in like after meal tea and like little sweets for Tally.
Yeah.
They can sit back.
Tally this whole time has started very slowly, very gradually sticking like the food that is untouched into her hat. just quietly hoarding all the tasty stuff.
God, I'm just gonna roll like a general perception to see if Johan notices this. I don't think he's going to stop her from doing it, but I just want to know if he sees.
I'm gonna roll sleight of hand.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna roll sleight of hand.
I mean, I don't doubt that she. Oh! 16. He notices, but he notices nothing.
Yeah.
He says nothing.
He says nothing.
Probably even like slides like some of like what was meant for him over towards her so she can continue.
Yeah.
But he sits back.
So much of this is going to rad later.
Oh, yes.
You're gonna have a ruined appetite for a bit.
Yep. Anime food.
Anime food.
But
this is food Tally has never had the chance to enjoy before. Oh, it's anime food.
Yes. So Johan sits back. Looks at Petra is like, okay. Whatever questions you might have, I will do my best to answer them. So, anything you want to know about the world, or
Petra is kind of like has a expression on her face, like as she like refocuses, like, oh right, things to talk about, conversations. That's a thing. And she kind of pauses in her eating to just think. If some time has passed, and she kind of like looks towards one of the windows out viewing out to the like just the street of the town. Is the war still going on?
If she looks at Johan, like there's a look of confusion on his face, which might give her the answer she would want to know. But he probably some wars happening off Einquell, but none on the continent of Einquell currently. No.
Petra lets out like the biggest sigh of relief you've seen. And she just kind of like leans back in her chair. Like she has been tense this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Like recognizing that she was on the surface. And you get the feeling that she was kind of waiting for,
The other,
you know,
yeah, the other boot to drop.
yeah. And now there apparently is no other boot to drop, so
You leave it alone not long enough, it'll go away on its own. Except that long enough has to be over 200 years, and it includes an erasure.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
just to be clear, what war are you referring to?
It was a conquest by the Antlered King. He was
I'm gonna roll
Yeah.
history to see if he recognizes that name. 18. Probably aware, like through his like research, he's probably been aware that the Antlered King, while he's more referenced to as like a fairy tale or a boogeyman nowadays, was actually a figure from before the erasure, and a pretty bad one at that. And like he's like, oh, no, the Antlered King.
There's kind of like an expression over Petra's face that now looks worried again, and she just quietly asks, "Did he win?"
No, even the Antlered King's influence could not survive the erasure. There was an erasure event some 200 years ago.
There are so many like things that are kind of going over Petra's head. And she's just very quietly just starts eating again because she doesn't want to think about this.
Yeah, Johan gets that she doesn't want to hear it, but he feels like she really should know about it.
Yeah.
About 200 years ago, the continent of Einquell was wiped clean by an erasure event. So everything of Toon was, at least everything of Toon that was not buried deeply like you were, was erased. And eventually,
Briggs, I'm cackling because in Dreamer's Crest I established she didn't know about this stuff until it was pointed out to her by someone else. So now I'm just laughing at the continuity errors.
like you could say she just, forcefully
She's probably tuning everything out at the moment.
So Johan is
like it's going in one ear and out the other. Yep. It is not processing
not
at all.
Not listening to him at all.
Exactly, Lewis.
Thank you. Gonna repress and ignore and forget.
Yep.
Okay, so Johan is essentially just talking to himself at the moment.
Yeah, you're kind of talking to a statue.
Okay. God. Okay, but eventually I think he finally gets the like she's not listening to him. That's okay. That's okay. He can give her a book later on.
give her a book. Give her some time, man. There's a lot.
Yeah.
Tally's also just sitting here. I feel like Petra hasn't been processing anything. Tally sure has been.
Tally's been learning a lot about the erasure today.
Oh yeah. She's learning many things from this trip to the museum.
She's gonna be she's gonna be taking another look at any statue she comes across now.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Okay, so I think for the sake of time, since we're well over an hour,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they finish lunch. I think Johan would do his best to kind of try and explain things to Petra, but probably not make all that much headway.
Headway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think
Because
you'd
again,
yeah.
there's a lot to process, not just from like the fact that there's oh, apparently I've been underground and was a statue for a long time.
Mhm.
Uh
I think at some
there's
point.
also the fact that everything's new.
Mhm. At some point he.
They see a light bulb and Petra stares at it for so long.
My God, like Johan is just like Johan realizes he is woefully underprepared to handle this. So we finally ask Petra, okay, I want to help you, but I don't know how to help you. So is there something I can help? I can provide supplies. I can provide a map. I can provide a book that you can read at your leisure. Uh,
A map could be good.
yeah, that,
I would like a map.
okay. Shopping trip.
Like I feel like before the shopping trip though, and she's like, "Do you need help with anything?" I mean,
Um,
I feel like considering you literally saved my skin, uh,
well,
I can at least offer something.
well, if I take it you're probably not going to stay here, or are you planning on?
I gotta look. I gotta find. I.
Yeah,
Ugh.
Johan just starts nodding like he understands family. God, she had family. Oh, God. I think if Petra would allow it, he just kind of like places a hand on her shoulder and gives it a squeeze. Cause God,
Yeah.
he understands.
Yeah.
It's not quite
He
the same,
sure
but
does.
he understands that probably a bit more than she knows. Yeah. Well, if you in your travels happen to come across some crystalline statues about my height or a bit larger, maybe just send word. Um,
I can do that. Yeah.
okay. Uh,
It's some sort of petrification. I'm assuming.
and like holds up a hand just like to prevent her from speaking about it too much. If we could
Ah.
also, yeah, if you could also,
Because Telly is sitting right there.
yep, it's like if you would mind not speaking of what you saw, I would appreciate that.
And Petra gives like a very serious nod, like, okay, yep, noted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like Johan relaxes a little bit at that. Oh, okay. It's
Tally, meanwhile, just has the biggest eyes of like, what? What?
it's
Don't I get to know this?
it's complicated, Tally. Old old history. Um,
Wow. Is it like something I'm gonna have to figure out when I'm older?
hopefully never. Hopefully not.
Oh.
I wouldn't wish you to know.
Oh, it's one of okay.
Yeah.
Tally just sits back in her seat, like, okay, it's a bad thing. She knows about bad things. Okay.
Boy, does she?
Yeah,
God.
bad things happen.
Hey, it's a we got 3 whole traumatized people right here.
Yeah,
And none of them can really talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
But they're going to support each other the best way they can, which in Johan's case is, I'm going to spend money on you. So once they finally leave and they visit like the marketplace, he kits Petra out with a map, like her starting equipment essentially.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
side of
yeah.
the plate, rations, all that sort of stuff. Tells her about extremely loyal airplanes and invites her to write to him because, I mean, he can read Dwarvish. He doesn't know how to write in it. Um, but any letter that she sends him, he'll be able to read and then can Google translate the common dwarvish back to her. Probably grammatically just all over the place, but he'll do his best.
He'll do his best.
In the meantime, he'll probably start studying dwarvish.
Yay! Cool.
Mm-hmm. And offers to like buy her like a teleportation circle, teleport to whatever part of Anquil she'd like to go to. Or if she
I feel
just
like
wants...
Petra like denies that request. Like, no, I'll start searching around here.
Okay.
I mean, there's only so many mountains in the world.
Like Johan just kind of like looks at her. Yeah, so if you like on the map, like he circles like a little portion, like a little snow-capped mountain, and says, "That's my family's mountain." So if it's in the area,
Oh, 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 I'm dead. Oh.
Yeah, it's like well to the north of like in the Ghibli Kingdom, or not the Ghibli Kingdom, not the it's God. Gisnep Kingdom. There we go.
Gisnep, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's the...
we're all over Quill today, baby.
Yeah, we're going places.
Yeah.
So it's to the north of the Gisnep Kingdom. Fairly close to the Well of Inspiration.
Yeah.
But yeah, he leaves her with a map.
And
I think like he explains it. I have to take this little one back to her father.
Okay.
But yeah, like he gives her like his address, like spelled as clearly as possible.
Yeah. Here's my address so we could get mail. Eventually, someday when Petra has an address, she can send it. Yeah.
But like he extends a hand to her. Good luck.
I think Petra wishes Johan like the same luck, like shakes his hand and like kind of reaches forward and claps her hand on his shoulder. Not super roughly, but enough to be like, oh, you lost your balance for a sec there.
Oh. Yeah,
she's real strong.
Yeah, like he remembers being carried out of the museum and he's just like, wow.
There's a lot of muscle in this dwarf.
Yes. She does. She exercises so she can lift all her friends. Support her friends.
Yeah.
And I think like it just like before they part ways, like it's just like this little tableau of like just like Johan and Petra shaking hands and Tally like looking up and like I imagine like she's just like looking between them like
Tally's just like looking between them like I'm missing so much context, but you know what?
And then
it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Everything's fine.
It's not fine. It's not fine.
Nothing's fine.
Nothing's fine. But
don't worry about it.
Yeah. But you know what? It's okay for today.
Yeah. This is stuff they can all unpack later.
So I imagine like Petra like just like walking off towards the wilderness or something.
Yeah. She's basically just like going around the town and then starts following the path to like the next town. And like basically trying to find out like the closest direction towards like the nearest mountain range, I suppose.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. In the meantime, Johan, Tally, holding Tally's hand, walks back towards the teleportation circle. I imagine they've gotten a call from Bob at some point.
As they're going, I'm imagining Tally like looking up at Johan like,
so do I have to keep any of that a secret?
I would appreciate.
Because you don't want to talk about it.
I mean, you can. I think perhaps maybe this would be best between just the two of us. You can say we met a nice lady and had lunch and For some reason, there was a fire alarm at some museums, just in case he finds out later and we have a plausible explanation.
I can tell him that we went outside a museum and we waited out in the front, and then it turned out that it was a fossil wreck.
Very good. Okay, now that we both have our stories straight, let's go to your dad. Okay. And they step into the teleportation circle, and whoosh, flash, they're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's probably a good place to end the FPS. Unless you have any.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I feel like that is a good spot to end it.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Lore drop, baby.
Secrets are no fun.
Secrets, everyone. But thank you,
Anyway, I
everybody,
hope
for
y'all
listening.
enjoyed listening.
Yeah. My God, thank you all for coming. And if you're listening later on, thank you too. And want to say goodbye. Bye.